Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, April 1st at noontime, Mountain Time, 2020. The models are showing a major system north, South Dakota, even Nebraska, parts of Iowa, Minnesota, as we enter the weekend. And good news, Spokane nearly doubles monthly snow average for March. A particularly active March of 2020 ends above normal snow totals, double. And that means Washington State snowpack is 104% of normal after a slow start. And that is not April Fool's. That's a snow boom. Keep calm. It is boom time. No fooling. Snow fell on Skyline Drive last night. We're talking the East Coast, Washington, D.C. Yes, it's no April Fool's joke. Snow fell in parts of the D.C. area overnight. While checking our local weather cameras, we stumbled upon an image of Great Meadows along Skyline Drive in Shenandoah. And that looks like some global warming goodness at 9 a.m. over there in Luray, Virginia. Warm end to March, then a snowy start to April in the Denver area, and a significant spring snowfall set to bury parts of 7 states. Look at him. He's pissed with his pink tie on. He's like, it's coming. Forecasters say the snow expected across the Rockies and Northern Plains Wednesday into Thursday will be no April Fool's joke from Mother Nature. As treacherous travel will be possible on the roadways, the wintry scenes will come as a storm system ushers in unseasonably cold air across the northwest tier of the country. Temperatures will dip as much as 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit below normal for the first days of April from Billings, Montana to Cheyenne, Wyoming, Rapid City, South Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota. The social distancing by taking a walk outside in these locales, we'll need to bundle up amid the highs in the 20s, near 30s during the middle and later part of the week. Slippery travel, poor visibility, sharply colder Wednesday night through Thursday. This system's going to slowly make its way east into the weekend. We'll check the models in just a minute. There you are, snow and ice impacts North Dakota. Heads up, Bismarck. And here are the models. We're going to look at the GFS, followed by the CMC. And we just got back from the Bisty. That's the Bisty Badlands. So let's check the GFS model. Here's your Wednesday into your Thursday. Snow's going to be moving into Montana and to western Wyoming, as well as parts of the Cascades. Thursday, that snow is moving and spreading rapidly into Friday here, into your Saturday, which is pickup only Saturday here in Iowa. So for the weekend, it's mostly Minnesota and Iowa, and Thursday, Friday would be North, South Dakota, Nebraska. And the GFS model is showing continuous snow into April, even a southerly track storm, April 12th and 13th there, that would be absolutely mind-boggling and record-breaking if it snows in Arkansas in April. It barely snows in Arkansas. So here's the CMC model showing just going out the next 10 days. And that is showing continued snow in the northeast, and the west is the best, with Nevada picking up record totals, including the Sierras, including the Cascades, all the way through spring. And if we could just get a new tab up here and check out weather.gov. Anytime you're looking for watches and warnings in your areas, you just need to go to weather.gov. You'll get the Weather Ready Nation map, and you can see winter storm watches and warnings in place throughout the northern tier here. Wintry start to April from the northern Rockies to the northern plains. Intense storm off the east coast. Now that's causing heavy swell here, so heads up there. Heavy snow and below normal temperatures will continue to shift across the northern Rockies into the northern plains behind a cold front through Friday. Ahead of the front, a wintry mix, including some freezing rain, is forecast to develop across the eastern Dakotas into the upper Midwest by Thursday. A strong storm off the mid-Atlantic is producing hurricane-force winds and dangerous seas, so heads up to all you skippers. Now, an interactive graph showing historic water fluctuations on the Great Lakes proves the exact opposite of what we were warned about by the global warmists. And instead of there being a drought or a deficit of water, over the last decade, the Great Lakes have gone from, here's the global warming scare, no more water, to now, up, and away. And this is because of cosmic rays increasing, the magnetosphere waning, and our descent into the grand solar minimum. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of higher and higher lake levels on Michigan and Huron. And here in Lake Erie, we see an increase over the last decade, higher and higher and higher water levels in Lake Erie. And here on Lake Ontario, higher and higher water levels from 2010 to today. And this year, we're going to peak with even higher record levels. Take a look at Lake Erie levels. They never even dropped down here. They remained in record levels, and they're going to go back up this year. Can you imagine how high Lake Erie will be? It's anyone's guess. But with increased cosmic rays for the next forever, it's going to just go up, and away for the next 3 decades. There will be some drop downs, but the trend will be up. And this is because of continuous rain, record rain, and increasing cosmic rays. And let's take Iran, for example. It's been flooding there since March 23rd. It's like 7 consecutive days. 21 dead now. Over 260 schools destroyed in the flooding. And that's just one country. Let's come back to our country. The floor was moving. 6.5 earthquake strikes in Idaho, largest since the state in 1983. We've been having lots of intra-plate earthquakes in recent weeks. And I'm sure a lot of people are worried about New Madrid. And this is probably, Mary Greeley is probably having a heart attack. But this is not abnormal activity. It's just a larger than normal activity. There's normal activity here all the time. In this magnitude, it hasn't been for 38 years. And there was some very little damage, no injuries. But there was obviously some rock fall. I heard the big roar. Big 6.5 magnitude hits Idaho. And so that's the big story. There's the boomer. 6.5 west of Chalice. Chalice? Chalet? What does it matter? 5.3 in China. Hawaii. Rumbling. All normal activity. Mid-ocean ridges spreading as the earth swells. We got a boom. Pacific Antarctic 5.4. Boom. 5.2 Vostok. South of the South Sandwich Islands. So we should see an uptick in Iceland and maybe an eruption there anytime soon. Worldwide volcano news update. We have quite an uptick in volcanoes worldwide. Puffing. Popo, Ducono, Sangay, Nevados Chilan, Aso, Nevado de Ruiz, Sabancaya. Popo to 20,000. We've got Kluchiskov to 23,000. We have increased activity on many volcanoes. Come down, check the list. It's really a whole video on itself. But if you just check out what's been happening over the last 48 hours, you're going to find there has been a significant uptick, including Stromboli, where a surge of activity produces lava flows into the sea. And that's something to see. Here we see Nevados de Chilan. Moderate explosive activity is back after a few days of lull. So we have a little bit of an uptick in the volcano realm. More funny stuff. Research team releases new global groundwater maps. This is amazing because what this shows us is that the forecast versus the observed is completely different. And they wonder why we don't rely on the government forecasts. There it is. There's the observed, forecasted. Observed, forecasted, observed. They just don't put those cosmic rays into the picture. NASA researchers have developed a new satellite-based weekly global maps of soil moisture and groundwater wetness conditions and 1 to 3 month U.S. forecast for each product. The global products are important because we grow food. And we also need to monitor droughts, especially with what's coming ahead. Minoan civilization was wiped out by the devastating Thera volcano eruption exactly 3,580 years ago, study claims. Now, they're using dendrochronology, which is the study of tree rings. And there is wood that's been laying around there that it's that old. And dendrochronology can be used for thousands of years. We have a pretty good record of it. And the tree ring data reveals maybe the year that the Thera volcanic eruption occurred, to the year exactly. A specific ring was extra thin and extra bright, and that's the one that nailed it. So that's an interesting article if you want to read that. And also, I came across this in Heritage Daily: well engineered watercourses stored live fish, fueling Florida's Calusa Kingdom. Now, about 8 years ago, I went down here and kayaked 8 miles across a bay, down a river, crocodile and alligator infested, across an open bay to get to this island. There was no one there, just some raccoons. And then I paddled around. I came into here. There was a bay because it was high tide, and then up into the west court. So, and then I explored the entire area. Just a fascinating place, Mound Key. It's the highest geographic spot in Florida, and it's not even on the peninsula. It's an island offshore in Estero Bay. Just a very impressive place. And so the mighty Calusa ruled South Florida for centuries, wielding military power, trading, and collecting tribute along routes that sprawled hundreds of miles, creating shell islands, erecting enormous buildings, and dredging canals wider than some highways. Now, unlike the Aztec, Maya, and Inca, who built their empires with the help of agriculture, the Calusa kingdom was founded on fishing. And they're proposing that they actually were able to flood these courts during certain tides to collect mullet and other types of tidal fishes, and then they would block off the gates, and voila! So that they were able to feed huge populations using these techniques. And look at all the different areas they were using. So this could have been like hundreds of fish capture zones. Pretty fascinating stuff. I hope you got something out of the video. I'm editing together the Bisty Badlands footage, which was amazing. And I hope you take time to watch that. It's definitely a way to recharge and revive your soul. So I hope everyone's enjoying their time planting food and reflecting on purpose. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. We love each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. Share this video. Subscribe if you haven't, and have a wonderful day.